Hi, thank you for watching Deadly Effigy. I'm Luke Lagau, and today, eventually, we're going to paint a bog monster. I think it's pretty important for me to show that even if you paint every day of your life, you can still struggle, and that's exactly what I do in this video. So let's struggle together. So as you can see, I started with a kind of skull-like thing, didn't like it too much, painted over that. I'm not including the paint colors that I was using at the beginning here, because I never made a real decision. Here, now I was trying to do some kind of creepy pig thing, which I still like the idea of. And I don't know what I was thinking with this pink here. Maybe I was kind of, at the moment, thinking like doing some kind of more bizarrely colored, obviously more bizarrely colored painting. Probably was going to do like some blue undertones and stuff. So I didn't like that, and I scrubbed that off with a green scrubby. And then I started painting this guy, and I kind of liked him, but he kind of reminded me of something that, like a toy I had as a kid. Boglins. If you remember Boglins. I sure did love that Boglin toy. No, Boglin, that is not true. I wanted to keep you forever, but you rotted. So I had to throw you away. That's right, be gone, Spectre. To avoid that happening again, let's paint over that one. Alright, so now I got a kind of a bat-looking thing going on here. Kind of like this. Still haven't really decided on any color. Got kind of a reddish, yellowish thing going on. That is part of my struggle, I can tell you right now. When I don't put a boundary, when I don't make a clear decision on what colors I'm going to use, I just end up going too crazy. And that's not great for me. So, lesson number 1 from me, if you're at all like me, maybe pick some colors. Don't just, I know it seems like, the freedom would be great. To just not have anything holding you back, being able to use whatever color you want. Yeah, that sounds great, but if you're like me, that's just it's the wheels are coming off, you know. I'm just gonna go insane, and I end up not liking when I get too crazy like that. But as you can see, it is starting to come together. We got yellows and reds. That's our lightest color here is, again, that sunbeam yellow. Any yellow, really, will do. And I have some of that magenta. And I'm using bright red, Van Dyke brown, no black. I made my own black in this one with just mixing somewhat equal parts of red, blue, and brown. It gives you kind of a gravy-ish, like we used to call it a navy gravy at one of my old jobs. It's a pretty cool color, kind of like a black, but you can add just a little more red, add just a little more blue, and it comes out cooler or warmer. Oh yeah, let's add a little glisten to that tongue. So yeah, this guy's speaking to me right now. He's saying something like,
Oi, can we eat it? Can we eat that?
that's what he's saying. I don't know what he's looking at. It's probably like some jewelry or something. He's a gluttonous character. He wants gold so badly that it makes him hungry. Greedy little thing. This guy, he gets a lot of detail. That's another thing that happens with me when I'm not really too clear on what I'm doing. I tend to really focus on the tiny details until something happens, and hopefully I like it. There have been a lot of paintings where it's like I've worked on it. Tons of little wrinkles and cracks and warts and things like that, and then I look at it and I just go, this is big old nothing. But this guy, he did end up pretty cool, I have to admit. I like him. He's shiny and greasy and gross, and I don't think anyone's gonna look at this fella and go, yeah, I trust him. No. You take one look at this dude and you go, I wouldn't trust you to bag my groceries. Put a little glaze over the top of it to get it all the same sheen. There is a bit of a struggle that I am still having just with these new mediums that I'm using. I have landed on the one that I like the most. And I will do a video about that soon. Actually, I'll just tell you right now. Surprisingly enough, it's the floating medium from Apple Barrel. I thought for sure it would be one of the more expensive things from a different company, but no, I like the floating medium from Apple Barrel, except for the fact that it gets kind of, you can see that upper layer there is looking super dull. As you're painting, these kind of dull spots happen and the light catches it kind of strangely, and it's not great for filming, but in person I can see it just fine. It looks a lot worse on camera. Anyway, next week I will have a video experimenting with different mediums, and you'll see why I came to that conclusion. Adding some final touches here. Still not hugely crazy about the big ear on the side here, but it's alright. It's alright. And I'm just using that same skin tone with a bit more yellow added and a lot of medium to make a glaze. Just put some tonal variation, some highlights. I don't want to get too detailed here because it's not really a focal point of the painting. When you're painting with glazes, a lot of it is you add some and then you take some away. So you add some lightness, you take some away. That's kind of what all painting is, but glazes, it's just the same thing. It's adding a bit of a highlight, looking at it, seeing if it's working for you. Sometimes you have to take some away. Sometimes you hit it right on first try. But that's what's great about paint, is you can just keep on putting more and more on top. And I just decided, let's give him kind of just a basic red background here. Maybe fade him out a little bit so it's a little softer. Soften up those edges to get that kind of focal blur. And the red background is kind of suggesting marsh light or ignis fatuus, which is when decaying organic matter spontaneously combusts and creates this strange glow. Happens in bogs, marshes, swamps, and graveyards. How fun is that? Let's sign this piece. This was a struggle, I have to say, but we all go through it. Don't let it get you down. Just keep on trying, keep on pushing through. I think that's the main takeaway. If I can make any suggestion when you're having some painter's block or just any kind of creative block, keep pushing, try something a little different, and maybe add a little bit of a boundary, add a little challenge for yourself, and say, okay, well then I'm only using red, yellow, and blue. You know, you might be surprised that you'll find something. Something will reveal itself at some point. I promise. You may have to paint a hideously colored pigman and then scrub it off and paint a toy from your childhood on accident and then paint over that. Really, an artist, in my opinion, is just someone who has the skills to make accidents look good. And you will never develop those skills unless you have a lot of accidents. So keep having accidents. It's the only way to get any good. Thank you for watching. If you like this, consider subscribing and maybe leave a comment. Let me know what kind of crazy, creepy creature you might want me to paint in the future. I might pick it. Anyway, for sure, keep on making weird stuff.